A 19-year-old man presents with a compound fracture of his leg following a fall from scaffolding. Examination reveals soiling of the wound with mud. His medical records show that he has had 5 previous tetanus vaccinations, and with the last one 5 years ago. What is the most appropriate course of action to prevent the development of tetanus? Do we clean the wound is definitely one of the options. And the issue is whether the tetanus vaccine 5 years ago is enough for his current injury. You know what? I really don't know. I'm guessing 5 years is too long of a time, so you need the tetanus vaccine again? No. Maybe you need the intramuscular immunoglobulin, because vaccines takes time for the body to mount an immune response, whereas immunoglobulin can be immediate. But it's safer to give both, right? I'm just gonna choose this. No, the answer is just clean the wound. If a patient has had 5 doses, did he have 5 doses? Had 5 previous tetanus vaccinations. Okay, I didn't read properly, but I didn't know as well. If a patient has had 5 doses of tetanus vaccine with the last dose less than 10 years ago, they don't require a booster vaccine nor immunoglobulins, regardless of how severe the wound is. The tetanus vaccine is a cell-free purified toxin that is normally given as part of a combined vaccine. Tetanus vaccine is currently given in UK as part of the routine immunization schedule at 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 3 to 5 years, and 13 to 18 years. This therefore provides 5 doses of tetanus containing vaccine. 5 doses is now considered to provide adequate long-term protection against tetanus. Okay. If patient has had a full course of tetanus vaccine with the last dose more than 10 years ago, if tetanus-prone wound, reinforcing the dose of vaccine. High-risk wounds, for example, compound fractures, delayed surgical intervention, significant degree of devitalized tissue, reinforcing dose of vaccine, plus tetanus immunoglobulin. So the threshold is about 10 years. See, it's according to what? Green Book, is it? What is the Green Book? Never mind, I'll just follow. Regardless of wound severity. Okay. What do I want to know? What is a compound fracture? An open fracture, also called a compound fracture, is a fracture in which there is an open wound or break in the skin near the site of the broken bone. Most often this wound is caused by a fragment of bone breaking through the skin at the moment of the injury. Ooh. So the bone is exposed in a compound fracture. Types of fracture: you got stable fracture, open compound fractures, transverse fractures, oblique fractures, comminuted fractures. Okay, a stable fracture, the broken ends of the bone line up and are barely out of place. In open compound fracture, the skin may be pierced by the bone or by a blow that breaks the skin at the time of the fracture. The bone may or may not be visible in the wound. Transverse fracture, this type of fracture has a horizontal fracture line. Oblique fracture, this type of fracture has an angled pattern. And comminuted fracture, in this type of fracture, the bone shatters into 3 or more pieces. So this is a comminuted Comminuted fracture, let's see. Oblique fracture. Unstable fracture. Okay. All right.